I tell y'all, there's so much change. It's so much change. It's unbelievable. You be sitting there like, you'll do this for this month, and then whoosh, something will come, and you're like, where did that come from? I wasn't prepared for it. Calm down. Oh my God. This video is also for people who are like, me. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Also, people like me that you can get a job just about anywhere. What's up, people? How's it going? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy, it's Isaiah, and I'm back with another mother effing video. And for today's video, guys, we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna be talking about, what I do for a living, saying. We're gonna be talking about digital marketing. Yes, we're gonna talk about how I got into it. What is a digital marketing coordinator? Then we're gonna talk about how I got my start into it. A year and some change out of college, and how what is a digital marketing coordinator? Because most people don't know, unless you do know. Best terms I could say what a digital marketing coordinator is somebody. Think of somebody like yourself. You have social media, you have a platform, you have a Facebook page, and you're updating statuses and posting photos. You're doing that, but you're doing it for a company, you're getting paid for it, and you're promoting the company. I like to say, think about it in that way. Like an influencer, but I just work for a company and help them brand themselves. Like e-commerce, but it's more of a newer name, hipper name for, marketing. But instead of doing like old-fashioned marketing, it's just more on the online presence, and that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. And this video is more for people who want to know more about that, and also for people who are of, my people who maybe I don't want to do nursing, maybe I don't want to be a doctor. Well, maybe you do. Maybe I don't want to do nursing, maybe I don't want to do nothing in I don't want to be a teacher or anything that somebody wants me to be, where it's like it's of not the norm, and my job is not of the norm, but it's becoming more and more of the norm, and you could do it, and I'm here to let you know, hey, this is the job. And hopefully I can do more and more of these type of videos, and show that there are other jobs out there for people of color. And hey, we out here, we winning in these businesses. All right, we need more people like us. We a threat. People who major communications, sometimes it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, you could be a digital marketing coordinator. You don't have to fall in the stem of radio, television, unless you really, really want to. I know I did. Still want to. Still a goal of mine. But we're going to talk about this different entity and see what it's like. And if you like it, hopefully I can answer some questions to make you like it. Or if you've always wondered what a digital marketing coordinator does, hopefully this video will, answer some questions. If you have more questions, let me know. Hopefully I can answer it. I've been in the job for, a year and some change, so I should be able to answer some questions. Hopefully. But anyways, when I was in college, I started college 2014. When I was in college, I was going in for communications, and I knew I wanted to do like TV, radio, and things of that nature. And then by the end of my first semester, I realized a lot of my classes that I took was based off of helping companies brand themselves through communications. It wasn't like business. It was more communications and like writing for businesses, less on TV, radio, because I did pro-com, which I could have done like TV production, but I didn't want to do TV production because I figured I would need the pro-com because it had more of the things that I wanted to do, but I thought it would help me get into like the radio, television, but they didn't really have classes like that. So by the end of the semester, I realized, oh well, I actually kind of like this, so I'm going to stick with this and work for brands, because I saw how social media was, and how I realized a lot of internships that I did. A lot of companies don't know how to promote themselves online, so I figured, oh well, that's easy cash grab. I can get some money that way, so that's what I'm gonna do. I've already been doing it, so I might as well get paid for it. So that's what I decided I was gonna get into the realm. And you know how when people say, oh, communications, you can't really get a job. You can get a job, you just have to look for it and find out your strengths and weaknesses and see where you want to go. Don't let anybody discourage you, because I know this saying, trust me, if you come from a Caribbean family or African family, any family with a very strict background. If you come from a background where your parents aren't like originated from here, or they look down upon communication majors, trust me, I know. But you have to do what's best for you. So that's basically. And then when I graduated, I was looking for jobs, looking for jobs, went on interviews, and finally I found the company that I work for, which is a company that owns franchisees. I help them promote the franchises that they own, and let's just say they own about over 40 properties, and I help promote their presence online. Like, I don't know how deep I'm gonna get into I don't know how deep I'm gonna get into with the job that I do. You know what I'm saying? That's basically in a nutshell what I do. It's not where I thought I was gonna go, but it's my first job into this digital marketing coordinator world. It's exciting, it's scary. It's a little like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. But then I learned a lot. I learned a lot that I didn't know about the hotel. I kind of just thought it marketed itself. But come to find out, they got somebody like me in the back doing all the work. And also this video is not gonna be like, you know, like a real like, oh, this is what I do. I'm sir in charge. Real simple, real straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Help you out, help you guys out, because you know there's some things that like I didn't know going in, but then when you realize like, oh, it's not that hard. It's not that hard, but it ain't that easy either. But anyways, first question, what does a digital marketing coordinator do? A digital marketing coordinator is responsible for developing and implementing plans, marketing campaigns throughout digital atmosphere, promote the company and its products, and making sure everything is displayed properly online and there's not any errors when people are either trying to purchase an item or book something or another, depending on the company that you're working for. Your major role is basically to enhance the brand's awareness online and make sure they have a strong presence, and we're able to communicate the type of product we're trying to sell to the customer and making sure that they like it and it's placed well and they buy it. You are also responsible for driving website traffic. So you want a lot of people, so like, you know how it's like when you're visiting like a YouTube page, a lot of people are causing traffic and people are commenting on in that type of atmosphere. That's basically what it is. You also use web analytics, you use SEO, and that is search engine optimization, and a lot of that has to do with like using keywords for like a brand. You're also responsible for email marketing, marketing campaigns, social media posts, and evaluating new technologies to better help the company move forward. You are also pitching content and writing content, a lot of it, so much to where sometimes you might get tired, but you are writing a lot. And you are going back and forth with people from the company and things of that nature. What skills are required? Well, you know, I guess the basic one is to say that you will need a degree, business and or communications, or you almost don't even need those two. I'm sure you can also just fall into the program. Fall into the job depending on like your work experience. It also depends on your work experience. But I will say to be like a people person, because you're going to be talking to a lot of people, getting information so you can get the best output of the product. You're gonna have to like influence others, because there's sometimes there's people who don't want to try new things, so you're gonna want to be able to talk to them in a way and persuade them to try new things, because people who are unfamiliar with the internet, they were like, oh, I don't know what this is, and then you explain it to them, and then you know they could either be happy and go with it, or they could be like, oh, I don't want to do that, because they're just unsure. So you have to be able to influence people. Know that when talking to a lot of people, you're gonna have to be able to collaborate, because there's always gonna be ideas flowing. You're gonna be able to agree to disagree and make sure at the end of the day you're here just to help the company. You're gonna have to be able to communicate properly, because let's face it, you know, some people don't know how to communicate. But that's one big thing that you're gonna need in this role, is to be able to communicate properly what you want and what the needs of what the company are. Also, you're gonna have to write. Oh, right. When I keep saying write, you're gonna write so much. You're gonna write so much, but in saying we get to write so much, it's also saying like you just have to be able to communicate your brand's message. Is what I'm trying to get at. You also need data analysis skills, although in the data analysis skills you can also do that yourself in a weird way. If you have social media, you can also track your data yourself and see how you're doing, and that could like help you like leverage getting like a job. Like if you just understand like reading data and if you know how to read data analytics. If you can read data analytics, a lot of companies want people to read data analytics, and if you're able to read data analytics and understand that, then my friend, you will definitely get a job in digital marketing, because a lot of people don't have the time or the patience because you're spread so thin. But hey, if you want help in order to do that, I'd say start with like your own data analytics from like your own social media accounts, or look through like other companies' social media accounts and see like how their data analytics look. It has to do with like likes, traffic, and how often people are on that page and searching. Oh, you got to be able to adapt to change. When I tell you, there is so much, just like how at a job there's so many things happening where it's almost like you're spread thin, is the way you're gonna have to be able to adapt to change. You're gonna have to be able to adapt to change, because just like social media, it's always changing. You're always gonna have to be up to date with it and seeing new ways to present yourself, because just how since social media is always changing, you're always gonna want to be on top of it. There's always like new rules, regulations, and how ways to promote yourself, because now that Google's always doing new analytics and new ways of promoting your company online and yourself, and they're always coming up with new regulations, and different search engines are always doing different things, and so it's just forever changing. You always want to make sure you're on top of it so you get the best results for your company, and it's also for yourself, because you can also market yourself, to be honest with you, because it is social media. You have to be willing to try new things, because like I said, with all these new products coming out, you have to be willing to put your ego aside and be like, all right, let's try it. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what the outcome is going to be. And sometimes you can do a project and the outcome comes out to be nothing, and then you're like, wow, I wasted time doing this. But at least you know, and you're able to move forward either with it or without it. And sometimes you do it and you're like, oh wow, look at this. This was a success. So yeah. Who was a digital marketing coordinator's boss? Well, basically report to your director, and then from your director will report to like the VP, and then basically you'll be reporting to both of them, the director and the VP. But you're mainly working under the director, who says what needs to be done and what projects are going to be started. So then, yeah, so you're working with a group of like 5 people, depending on how big your company is, or you could be working with 4 people, or 8 or 10, just depends on how big your company is. But you usually report to the VP, director, things of that nature. And then, yeah. What does one need to know about getting ahead in this position? Well, I think you need to have patience. You need to be willing to try new things. You need to be willing to be the forefront on getting on projects, and just putting yourself out there, especially if you don't have the job. You're gonna want to keep putting your resume out there, get internships, depending on where you are at. You know what I'm saying? If you're just trying to get a job, make sure your resume looks good and you're looking at what the jobs want. Just make sure what the job is and what's posted, they're telling you what your resume looks like. As long as you have a few things on there that looks like it, you will get a phone call, and hopefully it brings you into the door. And then if you have the job, you're gonna want to have patience, you're gonna want to have persistence, and you're gonna want to make sure you're on top of your stuff, because there's so much work to do, which is good, I guess, because people like to talk about job security. I hate that word so much because I feel like you're stuck, but not really. How can I get a foot in the door? You're gonna do internships that like get you to where you want to be in digital marketing. Since digital marketing communication is broad, digital marketing is like quite specific. You want to make sure you're doing something of an online presence and you're helping to sell a product, basically. So if you can find those type of internships or jobs, because you can always, do a little switcheroo on your resume, and it could work. Feel what I'm talking about. I want to tell y'all, there's so much change. It's so much change. It's unbelievable. You be sitting there like, you'll do this for this month, and then whoosh, something will come, and you're like, where did that come from? I wasn't prepared for it. Calm down. Oh my God. That's basically the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was able to answer some questions about digital marketing and hope I got some people interested in digital marketing. Try it out if you want to. It's not a bad field to get into. It's quite fun, quite rewarding, if I say so myself. Are there hard days? There's some hard days, There's some days where you're like, wow, spread so thin. But who isn't spread thin when they're working for a company? You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for watching. If y'all got questions more about digital marketing, let me know. Hopefully I can answer it, Hopefully. But I'll see y'all in my next video. Alright, peace.